Alright, so I was thinking about it, and for something quick and easy for a good funny laugh today, how about I was thinking we started looking at different houses and it got us on this whole bad rabbit hole looking all across the country at stuff, and then it got me thinking about different ads I'd seen and that for rentals. And some of the stuff, they always make me nervous and whatnot, but I always like the ones that it's room for rent. Just it has to be a single white female, or it has to be a young college age female, or I'm trying to think. I want to say it was young professional that's single. I kept catching those for a while, and I was like, okay, that's obviously the room for rent is he's trying to definitely have his own room for rent. And then I was also watching Alaskan Bush People, and they were talking about different places they were looking at, and then I started laughing when they found the holes in the floors, and talking about how much easier it is because you don't have to walk out the front door. You can just jump down through the floor if you have to go to the bathroom during the night. I was like, all right, that's a bit much. But I have to always laugh when they make comments about how many people you can have move in. No limit on individuals in housing. That's kind of scary. Or non-domesticated animals, okay. Which makes me worried as to what a non-domesticated animal would be. Like what kind of wild shit you bring in your house with you. In which case, why would you have it in your house with you if it wasn't domesticated of some sort? I mean, even if it was a wild animal, you would have to have domesticated it of some sort, I would think. But I do kind of just chuckle because and plus, you move into a place, you always end up with something. The thing the previous tenant left behind, or the magical mystery room or area that something happens, and you have to always laugh. And if you're really lucky, it's haunted and it's like completely explainable, because the sad part is a ghost story can be more explainable than half of the crazy shenanigans that we find. Ooh, my other favorite, one of my old friends told me about this house he had, and he lived there for like 3 or 4 years. So this house, I'm going to tell two quick stories about this house. One of them, while he had been living there, I think he said it happened for at least a year after he moved in the middle of the night, especially on the weekends, he'd get like rapping knocks on the door. He kind of figured what it was because when he moved in, he found a whole bunch of mason jars nailed to the ceiling in the basement. As in, they were putting things in jars and screwing them in, which he wondered, but figured, hey, maybe the guy's some kind of, I don't know, some kind of a contractor or whatever, and he's really into his tools, and he was organized. But no, it was people looking for the drug house, and they were convinced. They kept showing up there wanting their weed. He's like, I don't do that. I have children here, and I've been here for a year, so whatever house you're thinking, you gotta go back a little bit. And after he lived there for, I want to say he'd been there for like 3 or 4 years, I heard an incident had happened in the very small town we lived in. It was like all over the news, everything. But a gentleman had smoked weed at some point in time in his life in my friend's house. So my friend, who worked roughly 70 to 80 hours a week, he was a single dad, so he was always going in. He finally had fallen asleep, and he was sleeping on the couch. And he woke up to a guy in his face with a knife, saying, "Better get me high. Better smoke a joint with me." He's trying to stab him. Like, kind of psycho. I mean, it ended up being a whole thing. Like, he's running through the house, flipping stuff, and just, he just needed to smoke a bowl. And I was like, I always feel like that jerk then when I'm like, people usually aren't very, well, and actually, technically, he wasn't under the influence. He wanted to be under the influence. So maybe that could be a good PSA for why some people really just need to smoke to calm their asses down. That's a good thing to think about some days. But, and the point being, sometimes when you go look at places to rent or purchase, you have no idea what you're walking into. As I was watching the Alaskan People, I thought it was funny because he found all these random shitholes, and even he said, "No, this isn't. I'm all about doing work, but this is a bit more than I thought." I loved that he went to one that was supposed to be this small little rundown thing, and it was just, to me, it had a lot of windows, and it was just cute little cabin. The coolest thing was, is it was on like 2.7 acres that was an island, and it was all his, and that was part of the thing. And I was like, man, like, why can't life just be that simple? We can all have our own little island. We can shoot each other, I don't know, like bow and arrow messages. As long as they're not on fire and we're not like burning each other's islands up. I don't know. I just thought it'd be kind of cool. Nice little random things, to keep our lives interesting. But I just kind of had to laugh when we were looking at some of the things about moving into places, and I'm not trying to smuggle in 500 people with me or any alligators. So I feel that if I was looking for a place, I might have a good fighting chance anymore. Oh, that's just too much. Okay, well, I hope that at least made you chuckle a little bit. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to do these earlier, so that way if you do subscribe and it gets notifications, it's not going off being an annoying asshole at night. So I'm going to try to be earlier, everybody. But don't forget to do all that fun stuff and have a great night. I hope you had a good day. And tomorrow is the icky Monday. But we'll still find something to laugh about. Even if it's somebody else's expense that we know, just so we can go ahead and apologize later. Everybody have a good one. I will be back tomorrow. Bye.